I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the new Spawn book that started with issue 201 and has been ongoing for a while now. It's the Spawn book that's written by Mcfarlane and drawn by Szymon Kudranski. And this new Spawn book is kind of a reboot to the whole series. You know, it picks up where Al Simmons left off. It actually begins with the death of Al Simmons and then the birth of the new Spawn, who's Jim Downing. And Jim Downing is a white guy, which I thought would be really disappointing, but it actually turned out to be okay. That was my biggest pet peeve with the series initially, is that they made him white, because it seemed kind of like a cop-out, but don't worry, it's not a cop-out. He's still interesting. Al Simmons is still part of the book, just a minor part. His family's still part of the book, just a minor part. And I feel like eventually Al Simmons will play a large role again. I don't think this is the permanent new Spawn, but I could be wrong. You never know. But Jim Downing is a very interesting character because he wakes up out of a coma that he's been in for a long time, and he doesn't know anything about himself, and he's starting to develop all these powers. He's actually starting to develop 2 sets of powers at once. He's originally starting to develop healing powers, where everybody he touches is instantly healed of any kind of ailments that they had, and his body itself is healing from all the things that happened to him in a coma, like all the bed sores and atrophied muscles or whatever happens to you in a coma. And then he starts to develop the Spawn powers, the really scary hellish powers and stuff like that. And he's getting all freaked out and confused. And his first friend that he makes when he wakes up from a coma is his nurse, who took care of him when he was in a coma. And he moves in with her to try and deal with things. And then through her ends up meeting a journalist who wants to help him discover his powers and actually tells him that he has these powers, because at first he doesn't even realize that he has these healing powers. He just knows about his Spawn persona, and he doesn't even realize that he's called Spawn. So this journalist guy actually brings to his attention, hey, you're out there healing people, you have this gift to heal people, and I think everybody should know about this. So they decide to go into a talk show circuit and expose his healing powers to the world, which is really weird because Spawn's alter ego, Jim Downing, is kind of in this comic book shown as the Messiah, he's God to everybody, or Jesus to everybody. But then at night he's Spawn, and he's this scary redeemer guy, and he's got this scary cloak and these chains, and he's murdering people who are evil. It's really cool to see the back and forth, going from good guy redeemer, Jesus guy during the day to scary Spawn guy at night. I recommend anybody who likes Spawn, or even anybody who likes dark superheroes, to pick up this book and give it a shot, because maybe you didn't know this, maybe you didn't know it was rebooting, or maybe you didn't know there was a whole new art direction or a whole new writing direction, but there is, and it's really interesting, and I couldn't say anything bad about it, honestly. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, and it's reinvigorated my interest in the character quite a bit. It's really, really awesome to look at. It's got some of the best art I've seen on any books recently. It's kind of his art style reminds me a little bit of Ashley Wood, or Brian Templesmith, or Jay Lee, one of those types of artists, but it's also got kind of a film noir style to it, where it's got these really heavy blacks, kind of like Mike Mignola or something, like Hellboy, but much more detailed than him, much more photorealistic looking, and it works really, really well for the book. And the book does a really good job of utilizing modern technology like laptops and cell phones, people actually Google things in here, and people watch YouTube and stuff like that, and that just makes it feel all that more relevant. So I'm not really going to get into the plot details necessarily. I think you should pick the book up and read it for yourself, but it's a really, really good book. I mean, if you enjoy reading mysteries that slowly pan out, that blow your mind at every single corner, and there's twists all the time, then you should definitely check out this book, because it's very much like that. A lot of people have complained that it's really slow, but if you pick it up in a trade paperback format, or if you pick up a bunch of back issues at once and you just speed read through them, then that's not really a problem, because it actually moves at a pretty brisk pace, and the issues are only 22 pages each. It's not 39 pages like other comic books, so you can read them pretty quickly. If you guys do want me to do another video about the plot and delve into a little bit more, just comment below and let me know, and I'll do a detailed plot synopsis, because I do have the first 2 trades and I have all the comic books right now, and I would totally love to do that. First I would rather just let you guys know how great it is and let you kind of get into it on your own first. All right?